We have $12 billion in sales. We run 11 different websites, had about 3,000 people that are focused on this. So while we run the websites, I really believe in philosophies, as it was mentioned up here, I believe every company can be a technology company. And getting closest to the customer and seeing the problems that they're having every day, make sure that we're building great innovative products around the world. We have an awesome office here in Bangalore, but are headquartered out in Silicon Valley, in San Bruno and Sunnyvale, and have teams around the globe that run Asda.com and SamsClub.com, our businesses in the UK, and our club business in the US, and 11 other websites. A little bit about the future of retail. We should talk a little bit about the past of retail. In the 60s and 90s, it was really a brand world where all the brands sort of made the determination of who was going to sell their product, and people were looking for these very specific brands, and they were in charge of everything. In the 60s or so, it's interesting, Walmart, Target, Kroger's, and Kmart were all founded in the same year, 51 years ago. And that sort of tells you what was happening in that era. The era of mass merchandising and the ability for people to see products and have access to products like they never had before. But everybody knows after that, the consumer really became in control of retail. And not only internet retail, but the ability to use your mobile phone to do price comparison shopping, the ability to do searches in the web, store finders, all kinds of capability, really put the customers in control. And technology sort of paralleled this. It used to be, university and science and big companies that were controlling computing, but then we went into customers in control, where we had mobile capabilities and connectivity there. And now sometimes we think about it as everyone's in control with consumerization of the enterprise. Merchants and people who are working in the stores expect the same power in their mobile device to do day-to-day operations as they do, as retailers, as consumers do in the store. So this puts an interesting challenge to Walmart Labs and what we're trying to do, serving 260 million customers in the store every week around the world in new ways. And when we look at this, retailers, if they don't make a distinction, if they make a distinction between their digital and their physical locations, it's to their peril. And consumers no longer care that there's a digital division, a Walmart.com division, and there's a Walmart stores division. If somebody buys something online, they want to be able to return it in the store. They want to get the same pricing in the store. They want e-receipts. They want access to capabilities like pickup. They want the same access on their smartphone and their tablet and their desktop as when they're standing in the store buying their groceries and capabilities. We've started to build new capabilities of home delivery and pickup. And when you're walking into the store and you want to notify the customer that I want to pick up this item, I don't want to wait in a line that's 10 people deep to tell them that you're actually there. So we're building innovative products there. And then when you, let's see. And our shoppers are looking for convenience and value. Walmart has always stand for low prices. Convenience and value, saving money to live better is our motto. It really matters to most of our customers. So stores plus online exponentially creates a technology challenge when you add mobile to the top of it. So let's see, I'm clicking too fast. So I won't talk too many about the exact products that we build, but they allow a retailer, a technology company, to build really compelling capabilities. So the two examples that I have here, we have one application that we built on top of our data platform, e-receipts. So our e-receipts platform, everything that comes in through the store goes into a data warehouse that can be used for a couple different applications. The first one here is called Savings Catcher. And what this does is if you buy an item at Walmart and you scan your receipt with your mobile app, for the next 72 hours, we'll check all your local competitors and see if they happen to have it at a lower price. Most of the time, none of the competitors have a lower price. We're a low price company, by the way. But if they do happen to find one, then we'll give you an automatic credit in the form of a gift card into your next purchase. And the next one is one we call Instant Watch. We have a company called Voodoo that is a digital video capability. And basically, if you buy a physical movie in the store, which fewer and fewer people are doing these days, but if you buy a physical disc in the store and you check out, you can automatically download a digital version of this copy. So think about this. In the US, 5,000 stores with 30 registers, is that about right? About 30 to 50 registers each, all transmitting data back in real time to a central capability. So by the time the mom gets to the parking lot, she can show the Disney movie to their kid on their iPad on their way home from school. So this is the kind of experience that we're building at Walmart Labs. It didn't always start this way, and there's really 4 areas I'm going to talk about in the creation of Walmart Labs and the retail technology team. The first piece is technology. We had a foundation that was largely built by third parties and using vendor software. So we built a new platform that we call Pangea. It was really built to focus on 3 areas. Obviously, we wanted to build a beautiful and compelling website that had millions of items on it. So we built a great new technology front end for customers. But we also needed to build a back end that allowed us to scale to these millions of items, to build a search engine that has hundreds of millions of parameters in it, a data science platform on the back end that allows personalization and recommendations, so a brand new back end system as well. But we also were changing the paradigm of the way our merchants think. We were going from merchants who were handling maybe 100 items in their overall portfolio to thousands of items that they're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And they're dealing with new items that are coming in super fast. They need to deal with pricing and competitive pricing. They need to figure out which items they should come by. So we needed to build a platform that allow our business associates and our supply chain to have the next generation technology as well. I show this slide sometimes when I'm talking to CTOs, peers of mine. Unfortunately, given our time scale and our competitive pressures, we didn't have time to do this over a 5-year life cycle. So in about 18 months, about 2 years, we replaced every piece of the technology of the site, all the way from the back-end data centers, and we built our own cloud architecture, which I've talked a lot about recently, that allows us to be cloud agnostic. So whether we have an internal cloud or an external cloud, we can move our applications seamlessly across all clouds. We built a whole new back-end database system, largely using NoSQL and Cassandra and other NoSQL databases. Built a whole new services layer, and of course, a new beautiful front end that uses modern technology for both the website, mobile site, and tablet experiences. And we changed largely from using third-party vendors. We were effectively 80% using third-party vendor software and using third-party technology providers to build this, to the exact opposite. We built our technology team internal, and we powered 80-90% of the website using open source. This tool that that's called OneOps, which was one of our acquisitions we made, helps us manage and monitor all of these systems that we bring in. So if there is an interesting piece of open source technology, whether we've acquired it through a startup or we've decided to build it internally, we're managing this all inside our OneOps system and our technology stack. The second big piece is data and insights. So I did a speech recently in New York at NASSCOM to talk about the big data problem that we have inside of Walmart. So customer data, end-to-end, like shopping behavior, the capabilities that people are looking for on the website or what they're doing in the store. The merchants, so items, like what's happening in the item capabilities, is all coming in, millions of items and details that are coming to the site. And of course, we have logistics information coming from operators. This is a huge data problem. We've called it, the one thing that we built, and at Hadoop, my main message there was to talk about the big data democracy. I can't tell you the number of companies I've come across who have built this massive Hadoop cluster that brings all this data together and then doesn't let anyone have access to it. So we started from scratch not only to build a next generation warehouse using Hadoop, but we cleanse the data as it's going in so that we remove PII and security information out of it, and we allow pretty much any engineer to have access to the full data set. And as a result of this, we can prototype systems, technologies, savings catcher, and some of the e-receipts and InstaWatch capabilities I talked about. We can prototype it using the data, and we can launch it at scale, and we know with confidence that we can get it out there. This is a huge part of the system, and we've created great teams that have built this capabilities. not only on Hadoop, but we have just a very small team, about 8 to 10 people that run a team we call BFD, not big data, big fast data, that focuses on providing real-time information into Hadoop so we can power things like the search engine, the personalization engine, and all kinds of recommendation capabilities. The next big piece, maybe too far away from there it is being Walmart. So Walmart has one of the world's most efficient supply chains out there. We have our stores around the United States. I think the statistic is 2/3 of Americans live within 5 miles of a Walmart. That's an advantage that we have to use. And so we have built a next generation supply chain that not only has our own e-commerce distribution centers. I think I have a little video here. Our e-commerce distribution centers, we built 5 in the last year that have 1 million square feet of distribution capabilities. And then we've married them with the Walmart fulfillment centers, not only to backfill those big e-commerce fulfillment centers, but also to ship directly large items like patio furniture and canoes and things like that directly to consumers. And then we ship from 80 stores, directly from stores to customers. So in this case, like say you're shipping a very high frequency but low margin product like a bag of dog food or something like a big pack of Kleenex or something like that. You want to get it closest to the customer in an efficient way and then get it the last mile to the customer. And then we marry that with the 4,000, almost 5,000 stores in the United States to allow pickups. More than 50% of our online purchases are picked up at the store. And people think that's an amazing stat. So 50% of our online purchases are picked up in the store. And people ask why. People really use that. Why do people go to the store so much? And I often will say, they're going to be there anyway. They go there 2 or 3 times a week to pick up their groceries. They might as well pick up their other consumables while they're there. And then that way they have access to the millions of items that we have on Walmart.com in order to pick them up in the store. The last piece is talent. As I mentioned before, Walmart and Walmart Labs is a technology company. We went from essentially outsourcing the technology to third parties and third-party vendors to insourcing the entire team in technology. You can't outsource your innovation. You have to have your own people that really understand what the customer is doing and have access to the data and the tools and systems and foundation to build it. We have a great technology team here in Bangalore that we're growing tremendously. As I mentioned, Silicon Valley. And then we have a team down in Sao Paulo, Brazil that handles sort of the Latin American markets, and we want to make sure that we're close to the markets in every way. We've acquired 15 companies in the last 4 years, and I've sort of highlighted where these companies have come across. It's been a little bit of everything. We've acquired companies because we really like the talent. We've also acquired companies where we really wanted to invest in the technology. And sometimes it's been both, and it's been excellent. We've had a great track record of both small and large companies. We bought a couple of companies that were just 3 people that were focused on e-receipts or a web application that we really liked. And then we bought larger companies like Adchemy and Cosmix that had search technology and catalog technology that we took not only the team, but the technology and incorporated it right into the website. So this kind of active relationship with startups is a key part of Walmart Labs. While we acquire most of our talent through regular acquisition and interviews and the regular cycle you go through, what we find is Walmart Labs and Walmart gives a foundation for companies who really want to get traction with their startup and have them actually see their startup to see millions of customers every day. So that's the story of Walmart Labs and the future of technology and retail, which retailers need to become technology companies in order to compete in this world. Not only mobile, the social aspects of it, the digital to physical aspects, which Walmart and Walmart Labs intends to be the world's best digital physical integrator. So as I mentioned, 15 companies that we've worked with. I'm really excited about the companies that we've seen out here today, and we're excited about working with some Bangalore companies to not only test out new innovations, but anything that might be in retailer. So if you're into retail, into big data, into really hard problems at a massive scale, I invite you to come talk to us. We have a booth out here, and it'd be great to talk to you. So I have about 4 minutes for questions if anybody has some. Thank you very much.
Okay. Who wants to go with the first question for Jeremy? Okay. Stand up and shout it out.
There is a big disconnect between what is available on stores at Walmart to what is available on website. How are you trying to build the gap or just trying to close the gap?
The question was, there's a lot of items that are available only online and a whole number of items that are available in the stores, and how do we build the gap? That's exactly what we're building, that digital physical relationship. So Supercenter has about 150,000 to 200,000 items. Online, we're already well over 8 million items, and we'll be growing that dramatically. So the integration of digital physical is making sure not only do we have price parity on those items that are across, but the ability to pick up or return or just get a regular delivery with your other items that you're going to pick up every day. So all of the items that you can buy online, you can pick up in the store when you're doing your regular shopping. And that's been integrated for the last 2 years or so, both on Sam's Club and in Walmart.
Any thoughts on price matching with Fry's, Kroger, or any other retailers? Price
We
matching?
do price matching across all internet retailers. So what we do, Walmart is the low price leader, and we beat internet pricing and local store pricing a very high percentage of the time, plus 89, almost 90% of the time. And we match with what online pricing. So Walmart.com, you can rarely find an item that is cheaper on another website. And so when you come to Walmart, if it happens to be a different price in the store, they'll match the Walmart.com website price. We've been doing that for the last 2 years as well.
Thank you.
Question over here. If you can shout it out.
Yes, sir.
Stand up.
They are e-commerce companies which are specializing in e-commerce. Walmart has been a brick and mortar business model all along, with focus happening on e-commerce part of it so strong. How do you see the future of your brick and mortar business? And in e-commerce, maybe Amazon will build over Walmart because of its first mover advantage.
Yeah,
Just tell me.
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And I alluded to that. Walmart's advantage is our relationship with our customers on a physical basis. So, like I said, 260 million people walk into a Walmart store every week. That's not going to change in even the midterm or long-term future. So building that digital to physical relationship is the key. So when you think about endless aisle or pickup, we built a lot of capabilities. If you're looking at apparel in the store and you want a different size or color, we have the ability to scan it. We have capabilities in Sam's Club called Scan and Go that allows you to scan your items and then transfer your basket to the register. So all these relationships, largely with the mobile device, letting you know that when I come to pick up my order, and that way I don't have to wait 5 minutes. You literally drive up and they put the item in your truck or your car when you take off. So that physical relationship, the digital physical relationship, is what we're really striving for.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How do you see the in-store checkout process evolving?
It's a good question. I think payments is always an interesting discussion about how to deal with it. And payments in the U.S. has been largely a frictionless experience because everyone's using credit cards. A lot of customers in Walmart use cash. And so you not only lose the relationship with an e-receipt and that sort of thing. So what we see is the mobile interface in the store, even if you're paying with cash, being the critical thing. So you may check in at the register or scan your receipt that I mentioned, like that we do for Savings Catcher, and that makes sure even if you're paying with cash, we have a digital relationship with you. And that register, sometimes I say, I have a register on my phone, right? Most of the time, people don't want to put 100 items through their own scanner. They want somebody to help them through that, and we'll still deal with that at the store. But it's changing over time with self-scanning and mobile capabilities as well. Yes, sir, over there.
I'd like to know what is your strategy to deal with excess inventory? How do you optimize your inventory?
Walmart is excellent at dealing with excess inventory. Sam's Club has sort of an auction site that gets rid of it in bulk. Walmart plays the sort of mass retailer game. If we have too much inventory, we'll put it in a store and give it a discount. And we've helped out a lot with big data, and I think the stores team have done this for decades. But as we look at this at the massive scale, it's like, hey, an item that sells for $10, if we want to get rid of it, we can do it for $9. If it's not going out fast enough, we'll pull it down to $8. And we can do that a lot better with data science than we've sort of done in the manual experts. So we've been really building that relationship, not only on the consumer website front end, but on the back end side to deal with pricing, what items to carry in a store. As you can imagine, all 5,000 stores in the US don't even carry the same items, right? Based on regional preferences and that sort of thing. So you can use, all these things are big data problems. Back to my point about every retailer needs to be a technology company as well.
Great.